Procrastination can take many forms and often involves excuses, to-do lists, and guilt. Today, we're talking with our life coach, Pat Barone of Catalyst Coaching, about how to stop putting off the things on your past due to-do list. Thank you very much for joining us this morning, Pat. So what are some of the issues with procrastination here? Walk us through this.
Well, there's lots of reasons why we put things off, and one of them, the hugest I've found in my business, is perfectionism.
Okay.
People have this idea that if they can't do something perfectly, they're not going to do it at all.
Okay.
They don't want to do something halfway.
Right.
So that gets in the way of getting anything done at all.
Okay. So perfectionism is number one. Well, what else is on our list?
That's a big one. Another one is avoidance. You just avoid something that you think might be unpleasant. Another one is perceived pain. If you think something's going to be really painful, then obviously we want to avoid that, and so we tend to procrastinate it.
Okay.
Another one is, life's shoulds. This is when we sort of misidentify something as a need.
Okay.
We don't need a perfectly clean garage.
Right.
But we have this should that starts happening in our head. Oh, I should clean the garage, I should clean the garage. And it just becomes a tape in your head. And you start to think that it's a real need in life when it's really not.
And sometimes those shoulds, can those become overwhelming?
Oh,
and that's kind of why people...
They get bigger and bigger, and they take more and more energy just to sort of line them up in your head.
Okay. But there are things that people can do to get past this procrastination. What are some of the procrastination busters?
Absolutely. You want to bust it up, that's for sure. One is to let go of the outcome. So in other words, you don't know what it might look like in the end. It may not be perfect.
Okay.
There are many things in life that don't have to be perfect to be effective.
So be able to walk away from the outcome, just move on past it.
Yeah, don't even have it in the picture as you're working toward whatever the task might be.
Okay, so kind of the out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah, exactly.
Theory. Okay, all right.
Exactly. That gets rid of the perfectionism.
Okay, all right.
You can approach anything in segments. That's always a good idea. People think they have to do everything at once. And it's much easier to do a small segment. So
it's easier if we take things and kind of look at it instead of as a whole, look at it in maybe thirds or quarters.
Oh, yeah, 10 parts, bust it up into little bitty pieces that you can do quite easily.
And then it sets your goals a little lower, so it's easier to achieve them.
Oh,
right?
yeah, you feel better, too.
Okay, awesome. All right, what else do we have to help bust this history of procrastination?
You can create a new habit. So in other words, if you hate your Saturdays being a cleaning day, you can break that up into small segments and do 15 or 20 minutes every morning and make that a habit. Once that becomes a habit, you never have to worry about the big job on Saturdays.
All right.
Another is to delegate things that you don't like. Sometimes we avoid things because there's a part of the task or a part of the big project we don't like. Isolate that part and delegate it, or hire someone to do it, or just kind of bust through that.
Okay. And finally here?
The last one is to let it go. Many things we avoid because we simply don't want to do them. They aren't that important to us. Okay. And sometimes you do have to let it go. Maybe you're going to be someone who has a messy garage. You know what I mean? Just let it go. Because if you're never going to get to it, it's just going to take more energy to fight it.
Okay. Just try not to think about it. Just forget about it.
Learn to live with it.
Okay. Well, we appreciate you coming in here, Pat. Thank you, as always. Like I said, really appreciate it.